July 2026. The streets of New Delhi are overrun by an unsettling sight. Thousands of young people are marching on the capital, their faces completely hidden behind rigid brown insect masks. As the crowd presses toward government barricades, the state's response is swift and overwhelming. Police deploy batons and fire tear gas into the marchers, turning the wet asphalt into a choking cloud of white smoke. They call themselves the Cockroach Party. In a few short weeks, this group has established a permanent encampment in the heart of the capital, forcing the government to mobilize thousands of riot police just to maintain the perimeter of the protest zone. How did a biological slur, a word originally deployed to dismiss these very students, mutate into a symbol of resistance that the state cannot seem to suppress? The origin of this crisis traces back to May 2026, inside the Supreme Court of India. What began as a standard hearing regarding online criticism of the judiciary took a sharp turn. From the bench, Chief Justice Surya Kant expressed frustration over unemployed young people criticizing judges on social media. He compared these digital critics to cockroaches that needed to be swatted away. Political establishments often rely on demeaning metaphors for a specific reason. Comparing opponents to insects strips them of their humanity, signaling to the public that their grievances are too small to require a serious policy response. That specific metaphor landed on a generation already grappling with record-high youth unemployment and a series of systemic education failures. The court struck a match in a room already filled with gas, sparking a massive fire that quickly spread nationwide. Behind the masks and the outrage is the NEET exam, India's highly competitive national entrance test for medical students. Earlier in the year, a catastrophic leak of the exam's question papers compromised the entire testing infrastructure. Overnight, the hard work of 2.2 million students was erased. The government forced massive retakes, fracturing the public's faith in the National Testing Agency to administer a fair exam. This staggering top-line number, 2.2 million, is actually a vast collection of individual lives knocked completely off course. Driven by overwhelming despair over the failure, students directed their fury squarely at the Ministry of Education, demanding the immediate resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. For a generation watching their career paths vanish, the establishment had already derailed their futures. Hearing a Supreme Court justice then call them cockroaches was the final indignity. By deploying that insult, the judiciary accidentally handed a unified identity to millions of young people who felt the state was exterminating their dreams. The students needed a way to fight back. Enter Abhijit Dipke, a journalist who holds a master's degree in public relations. He saw an opportunity to organize the chaos. Dipke spearheaded the Cockroach Party, utilizing a tactic called reappropriation. By taking the slur, printing it on posters, and wearing it as armor, the students stripped the word of its power to insult them. It creates an unassailable joke. A government cannot effectively police or humiliate a protest group that has already turned the state's best insult into its own uniform. The satire rapidly evolved into heavy political pressure when prominent activist Sonam Wangchuk joined the students. He launched an indefinite hunger strike, lending serious moral weight to the youth movement. After 3 weeks of fasting, authorities reportedly forced Wangchuk into a government hospital against his will, sparking legal battles as his family petitioned the courts over illegal detention. That heavy-handed intervention triggered the movement's largest show of force. On July 20th, over 10,000 protesters aimed directly for the seat of power, marching on the Indian parliament. The Delhi police met them with batons and tear gas. The ensuing clashes left nearly 180 people injured, including dozens of students and over 100 security personnel. But the physical crackdown failed. Every widely shared image of a student in a cockroach mask being beaten by heavily armed police reinforced the narrative that the state was aggressively attacking its own children. After nearly a month of silence, the government finally blinked. Health Minister J.P. Nadda was dispatched to open a dialogue with representatives of the movement. Soon after, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation on television, promising to establish fast-track courts to handle cases related to the exam paper leaks. The protesters, however, remain entrenched at their sit-in site in New Delhi. They are refusing to break camp until the education minister officially resigns. The government's promises of faster courts arrived too late. The students are holding their ground until the education minister steps down. For them, the integrity of the testing system is now inseparable from the accountability of the people running it. The protests have now broken containment. Young members of the Indian diaspora are organizing solidarity rallies in global hubs from London to New York, ensuring the story remains in the international spotlight. The movement is leaning into the biological reality of their mascot. The cockroach is famously an organism that can survive almost anything, even a nuclear blast. The cockroach movement demonstrates how a digital native generation can flip an establishment's own rhetoric to build a brand that is nearly impossible to suppress through traditional force. When the court used the word cockroach, the intent was to make these students feel insignificant. Instead, for a generation fighting for their future, it gave them the exact word they needed to prove they are uncrushable.